Greetings, esteemed listener. I am the Lawmaster, and today we embark on a detailed exploration of the Damocles Crusade's rich history. A request for this information has come from an Imperium soldier by the name Death Corps of Krieg 475. It is my duty and privilege to fulfill this request and share with you the intricate details of this significant chapter in our galactic history. Let us delve into the past and uncover the layers of this momentous event. The exact time when the Tau Empire and the Imperium of Man first met remains a mystery, as both sides were initially unaware of each other's true nature. The Tau initially came across humans who were outliers or rebels, including free captains and pirates near the Damocles Gulf in the eastern fringe east of Terra. These early encounters with humans varied greatly, ranging from peaceful trade and talks to open conflict. It took a while for Tau Watercast diplomats to realize that these humans were just exiles from a massive galaxy-spanning empire known as the Imperium of Man. This empire, the Imperium of Man, was so immense that any aggressive move by the Tau could have led to the collapse of their young empire and the possible extinction of their species, while some eager Tau Firecast leaders advocated for war against the Imperium. The Ethereals, the guiding leaders of the Tau, instead planned to integrate the Imperium into the Tau Empire. To achieve this, the Watercast diplomats were tasked to form alliances with human groups opposed to the Imperium. Over many years, through careful and patient negotiations, they aimed to gain influence within the circles of numerous Imperial commanders who governed various planets. The Tau Empire's influence expanded into the Imperium faster and further than military conquest alone could have achieved. Soon, many human worlds preferred trading with the Tau over the Imperium's own trading groups and independent merchants. This trade introduced alien products and technologies into these border worlds, openly defying the Imperium's laws. With this success, the Ethereals moved to the next stage of their plan. On numerous Imperial worlds, Tau Watercast representatives skillfully persuaded key individuals. The groundwork for rebellion, laid by the Tau, was now ready. One by one, Imperial governors began to declare their independence from the Imperium, breaking free from its control. Following the political upheaval, the Tau Empire expanded, taking over human worlds that would later be known as the Farsight Enclaves. The Imperium reacted quickly and harshly. They declared war and initiated the Damocles Crusade, led by the Ultima Segmentum Command. This campaign involved the Astra Militarum, the Imperial Navy, and several Space Marine chapters. The Tau's influence in the region was soon diminished, but this success came at a high cost for the human forces. Eventually, the momentum of the Imperium's armies waned, and they had to redirect their focus to more urgent threats, like the galaxy's first Terranid invasion. After the conflict, a fragile peace settled over the border areas between the Imperium and the Tau Empire. The Imperium had only shown a fraction of its true strength and capabilities, but the Tau had gained crucial insights into their enemies' strategies and tactics. More significantly, the Tau realized that humans marginalized or abandoned by the Imperium could be influenced. The Tau Ethereals believed that any empire that consumed its own people, regardless of its size, couldn't ultimately withstand the Tau's destined expansion of the greater good throughout the galaxy. The Tau Empire's second sphere expansion reached a peak when they crossed the Damocles Gulf and encountered the frontier worlds of the Imperium in the Timbra subsector, Lithish sector. These worlds, already known for their rebellious nature to the Administratum, erupted in revolt after contact with Tau emissaries, leading the Inquisition to directly blame them for the revolt. The Tau were labeled as a dangerous alien threat, prompting the Ultima Segmentum Command of the Imperium to initiate a crusade to drive them out. This Damocles Crusade was a typical response of the Imperium in the eastern fringe, before the Terranid hive fleets appeared. The Imperium's policy was clear. Any challenge to its authority was met with war to eliminate the perceived threat. In 742 M41, the Imperium launched a crusade in the Lithesh sector, a region between the Damocles Gulf and the Perdus Rift anomaly that had been destabilized by Aeldari pirate raids and warp storms. As the Imperium worked to regain control, they discovered the Tau Empire forming alliances with rebellious Imperial factions. The increase in alien goods and artifacts in nearby Imperial systems highlighted the threat of these alliances. Inquisitorial probes by the Ordo Hereticus into these dissident worlds uncovered Tau activity in adjacent sectors. Cardinal Esau Gurney of Brimlock declared the Tau a significant threat and called for a crusade to eliminate them. This crusade comprised a dozen Imperial Navy capital ships, 5 provisional Space Marine companies from various chapters, and 19 Astra Militarum regiments, including 7 from Brimlock. The campaign began in the Timbra subsector, targeting human colonies that had interacted with the Tau. The crusade first restored Imperial control in the Garrus and Kleist colonies, punishing those who had dealings with the Tau. After securing these colonies, the forces moved into Tau territory, engaging them in the uninhabited Hydas system for the first time. 7 Tau warships, similar in size to Imperial cruisers, were spotted at the edge of the Hydas system. When the Imperial Crusade fleet engaged them, they encountered Tau ships capable of firing potent torpedo volleys from a distance, disrupting the Imperial formation. Although the Imperials launched bomber attacks, Tau escorts effectively countered them. The turning point came when a Space Marine strike cruiser, backed by Sword-class frigates, penetrated the Tau formation, inflicting significant damage. This engagement revealed a weakness in the Tau starships. They lacked effective broadside firepower. As the Tau deployed additional escorts to cover their retreat, one of their starships was unable to escape and was destroyed while its crew attempted to abandon it. Following this victory, the Imperial Crusade fleet advanced further into Tau Empire territory. The Silkel system, home to a fertile Tau Agri world with an estimated population of 7 million, was next in the Crusade's path. Defended by an orbital station, system ships, and remnants of the Tau fleet from Hydas, it was a strategic target. Captain Ruman of the Iron Hands chapter was chosen to lead the planetary assault. The Imperial fleet advanced swiftly, attacking the orbital station, which turned out to be less heavily armed than anticipated. The Iron Hands boarded and quickly overcame its defenders, purging it of Tau presence and establishing it as a base for the ground campaign. The Tau fleet withdrew without significant damage, suggesting they prioritized evacuating key personnel over defending the planet. The Scythes of the Emperor chapter secured a landing zone for the 17th Brimlock Dragoons Regiment of the Astra Militarum, providing heavy support. The Tau's counterattack was immediate, featuring heavily armed mechanized infantry and armored units. Their hammerhead grav tanks proved a match for the Astra Militarum's Lehman Russ tanks, and the Tau excelled in supporting their armor with infantry and battlesuits. The Dragoons faced heavy losses from battlesuit-armed Tau infantry in ambushes. Only the timely aid of the Ordo Tempestus's 4th Stormtrooper Company and the Scythes of the Emperor prevented a complete rout. As the crusade advanced towards the main population centers, the Tau evacuated their skilled Earth-caste workers and dismantled advanced technology. When the 9th Brimlock Fusiliers landed, Tau resistance collapsed, and all Imperial objectives were swiftly achieved. The planet was cleansed of Tau influence and claimed for the Imperium. As preparations were underway to cross the Damocles Gulf towards the Imperial-designated Kendril subsector, a detachment from the main Crusade fleet was dispatched to the nearby Vissel system. Their mission was to eliminate the Tau presence there, addressing a potential threat to the Crusade's rear. Initial Imperial scouting revealed that Vissel 6 was an ice world, where the Tau had set up fishing colonies. Since the world held little strategic value, the decision was made not to engage in a ground assault. Instead, the planet was subjected to orbital bombardment. This assault melted the surrounding ice, leading to catastrophic flash floods that obliterated the Tau colonies. The Battle of Prayen marked a significant confrontation after the Imperial Crusade fleet's 5-month journey across the Damocles Gulf, reaching the Dalith system in the Kendril subsector. The outer planet Prayen, with its Tau orbital space station, was a strategic defense point. The Imperial fleet underestimated the station, recalling their earlier encounter in the Hydas system. However, this station was much more powerful, equipped with heavy railguns that severely damaged the honor of Damlas. As the Imperial fleet scrambled, 11 Tau starships ambushed them from behind Prayen. Imperial escorts targeted the orbital station, while the main fleet engaged the Tau ships. A critical moment came when the Tau damaged the Regent Lakshimbai, a Dauntless-class light cruiser leading to its destruction. Despite suffering losses, the Imperial fleet slowly gained the upper hand. But then, a Kroot warsphere, hidden until then, suddenly attacked, targeting the Imperial troop transports. The transports dispersed in response. The Kroot warsphere was slow and had limited range weapons, but it posed a significant threat. Admiral Jalaki's flagship, the Retribution-class battleship Blade of Woe, intervened. It swiftly overpowered the Kroot vessel with superior firepower. The victory was costly for the Imperials. 4 capital ships and 14 escorts were lost. The Tau's near-successful ambush earned them a newfound respect from the Imperial fleet, revealing the intensity and unpredictability of the Tau as adversaries. The Battle of Dalith Prime was a pivotal moment in the Imperial Crusade. Despite some commanders suggesting a retreat, the prospect of attacking a major Tau world was too alluring. Dalith Prime was guarded by 3 orbital stations, which, having learned from the previous battle, the Imperial fleet approached cautiously. These stations, less fortified than those at Prayen, were methodically destroyed. Anticipating the arrival of Tau reinforcements, the Imperials swiftly launched a ground assault. They targeted the eastern coast of Dalith's largest continent, a strategic location bordered by mountains and sea. The initial landing was challenged by Tau aircraft, but was ultimately successful, allowing the full Crusade force to deploy. The Imperial advance focused on the Tau city of Gelbrin. Utilizing the local road network, the invasion force, led by Titans and armored units, made significant progress. However, Tau missile attacks from concealed positions began inflicting severe losses on the advancing Imperials. Efforts to counter these attacks led to engagements with Tau jump troops equipped with cloaking technology, disrupting the cohesion of the Imperial advance. By the time the Imperial forces neared Gelbrin, their formation had split into 3 distinct spearheads. The first, comprising Titans from the Legio Thanataris, faced Tau Manta missile destroyers. The second, led by the experienced Rakashan rifles of the Astra Militarum, encountered Kroot warriors embedded in the urban environment of Gelbrin. The third, consisting of Space Marines from the Iron Hands, Ultramarines and Scythes of the Emperor, was met by the Tau's elite jump troops. The effective Tau counterattacks halted the Imperial momentum, stabilizing the front along a wide river about 20 kilometers north of Gelbrin. Operation Hydra marked a pivotal turn in the Imperial Crusade. Commanded by General Wendell Gage of the Astra Militarum, the Imperial forces were stalled and forced to defend against the Tau's superior nighttime warfare tactics. Despite Space Marines' enhanced senses helping to counter this, Imperial losses continued to rise. Compounding their troubles was the fear of a new Tau fleet, as the Crusade fleet was too damaged to effectively protect its transports or support ground forces on Dalith. Tau reinforcements kept arriving, signaling to General Gage that they'd engaged a major Tau population center, while the promised Imperial reinforcements had not materialized. Inquisitor Grand of the Ordo Xenos suggested evacuating and resorting to exterminatus. But this was met with resistance, especially from the Astartes. Ignoring the internal debate, General Gage took decisive action. He launched an offensive along the river to trap the Tau against the sea. Artillery bombardments and Imperial Navy fighter attacks initiated the operation, which quickly captured a key town and bridge, achieving surprise. However, the Tau's rapid deployment from Manta missile destroyers countered the Imperial advance. After a fierce battle, the Imperial forces came close to trapping thousands of Tau. But overnight, the Tau retreated to a new line beyond Gelbrin. By morning, while Kroot lurked in the city, the Imperials secured the starport. The tactical situation allowed for an evacuation, which General Gage initiated despite resistance from the Inquisition and Astartes. An express order from Inquisitor Cryptman redirected the forces to Brimlock due to Terranid attacks. The Tau, recognizing the futility of hindering the evacuation, engaged in peaceful negotiations, laying the groundwork for future cooperation. This marked a shift in the conflict, showing mutual respect between the Imperium and Tau. The Damocles Gulf Crusade was just the beginning of over 2 centuries of intense warfare between the Imperium of Man and a Tau empire intent on spreading the greater good. Despite potential Tau blockades, they chose diplomatic dialogue, allowing the Imperium to retreat and the Tau to reclaim lost territories. This conflict underscored the harsh realities of war and the complexity of interstellar politics. As the lore master, I have shared this tale from the recesses of my memory. The Damocles Gulf Crusade, a saga of strife between the Imperium and the Tau, concluded with strategic retreats and unexpected diplomacy. In the face of greater threats, the Imperium withdrew, and the Tau chose dialogue over destruction. This narrative, now drawn from my vast stores of knowledge, serves as a stark reminder of the galaxy's perpetual conflicts and the rare moments of potential peace. With this recollection complete, the echoes of history fade back into the silence of my memory, awaiting the next seeker of tales from the stars.